He'll probably be a computer nerd, and I don't need Cousin Brainiac embarrassing me.
Well, then I'll just go to Richmond and play for you. No. Well, why not?
You require your players to maintain a 2.3 grade point average.
Oh, flag on the play! Flag on the play! Illegal use of the toe.
You want to go to the movies tonight?
You paying?
Yeah.
Okay. I'll go.
Okay.
Skeeter, you distract the cheese lady. Nina, you push the baby carriage. I'll grab Chester, tuck him in the buggy, and we leave. One big happy family.
Well, why not? Dad, you've always been my coach.
This is a great school, Damien.
It's just me and you, Brandon. Oh, flag on the play! Flag on the play! Illegal use of the toe.
Maybe we should lock ourselves inside and test it out.
Yeah, maybe we should.
Really?
Psych!
I was involved in like gang life and be in trouble, and one day I was just outnumbered by a bunch of gangbangers and I ran to a random building. The building was an acting school.
Robert Ri'chard's life, baby, it's like a picture-perfect Hollywood face with a twist of gritty street vibes. Dude's literally aging backwards. But trust me, it ain't no soap opera. He's keeping the drama alive and then some. 1 second, he's out here repping gang colors like it's nothing. The next minute, he's reigniting that old flame with none other than Megan Good.
She's amazing. But just, to be back with Megan, seeing how much we've been at this, like 30 years together, and we were on the red carpet together. And then she whispered in my ear, she goes, we have so many more years ahead of us.
Right.
Like the fact that we've been doing this for so young, but we're still like young and, Megan looks great. I keep my fitness at, a high priority in my life. And we have just years and years ahead of us. Right. So it's exciting for the next few chapters.
This man stays deep in the mix, and trust me, his past ain't ever letting him go. Let's dive into this wild roller coaster of Robert Ri'chard's life, where the real story is in those gritty streets he came from. Robert Ri'chard, born January 7th, 1983, didn't come from no Hollywood fantasy. Nah, his early life was anything but glitz and glamour. Now at 41, he's kept it real about his rough beginnings, saying that as a kid, he was fully immersed in that gang life. For him, it wasn't just about stirring up chaos, it was straight up survival. That gang wasn't just a crew, it was his ride or die family.
I was in gangs growing up, and I saw LAPD as the opposition growing up, but now that I'm a responsible member of society, I grew up immature, I see it more as someone there to protect and serve.
And when you're living that life, forget calling the cops to fix things. Nah, it's all about dealing with it in the streets. And if it takes some violence, so be it. Robert wasn't shy about saying that if someone crossed them, it wasn't going to be a conversation. Nah, it was going to be settled with some serious action. That's how deep he was moving.
The way you gotta look at it, a lot of people don't understand it, but for a young kid, a gang is their family, right? So it's someone that they eat with, hang out with all the time, and there's an allegiance that's there. And sometimes this gets misdirected, where you have someone who you look up to as an older brother saying, hey, someone did us wrong, we have to go correct that. Now the proper way to correct that is to go to LAPD and say someone did us wrong,
right,
and to have them corrected, but taking it into your own hands is where the violence starts.
Instead of letting all that negativity weigh him down, Robert flipped the script and hustled his way into Hollywood. He took that fire from his past and turned it into his secret weapon for success. Now that's the definition of a comeback, baby.
This is definitely tough to get out, but I think the best way to do it is just to focus on your education. I think everyone sort of understands someone trying to make their lives better through education. That's something that can sort of get you, education is that gateway to get you out of your current circumstance into a more prosperous, responsible one.
Now here's where Robert hits us with the real plot twist. Despite that rocky history with the law, Robert flipped the script. These days, he's saying the LAPD ain't the enemy. Nah, they're just a squad out here trying to protect and serve. Yeah, you heard it right. The same dude who once saw cops as the opposition now got a whole new outlook on them.
And now it's just trying to take all that energy that I had, which was used in a destructive way, and putting it in a constructive way. So I took all that and pretty much put it into my craft. And
funny how life just loves to flip the script, right? And don't get it twisted, Robert's gang ties ain't just some sob story he's spinning for the press. Oh no. He made a statement when he casually whipped out a blue rag during an interview. That move, pure wave-making energy.
Shout out to all the gangsters out there. They say never forget where you came from, you know what I'm saying? Never forget where you came from. So I keep my rag on me or whatever. But now that I'm a responsible member of society, I grew up immature, I see it more as someone there to protect and serve.
Everybody was talking, right? Was he still repping that life, or just reminding us where he came from? Either way, Robert ain't shy about his past. And trust, he ain't letting us forget it. Now let's get into how Robert really found his way into acting. This story's a whole movie plot in itself, so check it. Robert was out there literally running for his life from gangbangers. Yeah, ducking and dodging through the streets like he's in some action flick. In his desperation to escape, he runs into the first building he can find, and it just so happens to be an acting school. Talk about fate stepping in with a twist. Instead of dipping out, he decides to chill for a bit and fill out an application.
People say never forget where you came from. I was in California, being a bad kid, running the streets, and I was involved in like gang life and being in trouble. And one day I was just outnumbered by a bunch of gangbangers, and I ran to a random building. The building was an acting school, and I was just in there stalling because I was outnumbered. So, and then I ended up filling out an application, wasting time, and then the rest is history.
And just like that, he went from gang life to potential movie star material. You really can't make this stuff up. But wait, there's a catch. Not everyone's buying into his story. A lot of folks are giving him the side eye, accusing him of hyping up that gangster-turned-actor narrative just for some extra clout. They're calling him out, saying he's stretching the truth for attention, claiming his past wasn't as tough as he makes it sound. Robert, he ain't fazed. He swears the negativity from his gang days is the fire that fuels him now. Whether you're buying into the story or not, one thing's clear. He's channeling all that chaos into his work. And with a career like his, looks like that energy's paying off. We can't forget about his iconic roles on Cousin Skeeter and One-on-One.
Oh, you do that for me? All right, here you go, baby. Take care of that.
Robert was that baby-faced heartthrob of the late 90s and early 2000s, leaving everyone swooning over him. But don't let that innocent smile fool you. Behind all that charm, Robert knew exactly what he was doing. From House of Wax,
Yeah? Yo, man, you need something?
What is he?
all right, drop your script for Coach Carter, and I'll turn it into something that brings the drama, the sass, and all the tea, while keeping it concise and on point. Let's get into it.
All I want to do is play for you. If I'm one of the top students at Richmond, I mean one of the top in the whole school, and I have great SATs.
And let's talk about Meet the Browns and Coach Carter. Robert's got a resume that screams, I can do it all. From dramatic roles to action-packed scenes, this man's range is chef's kiss. Oh, and don't sleep on his guest spots. He's popped up in hits like CSI Miami and The Vampire Diaries. Busy ain't the word. This man stays booked and blessed. And let's keep it 100. Robert knows Hollywood runs on youth and good looks. He's out here sipping from the fountain of forever fine. Because seriously, has he even aged? Now let's pivot to Megan Good. Who could forget when they lit up our screens together on Cousin Skeeter back in the day? A classic period.
You know, Skeeter's right. I mean, this is better than that synthesizer stuff.
I know, my dad likes that up-tempo stuff better too.
Adorable, wholesome, and pure TV gold. Cousin Skeeter gave us all the feels with their perfect on-screen chemistry. But fast forward a few years, and the vibes between them hit different when they linked up for another project. Robert was cheesing ear to ear, talking about how it felt like they never skipped a beat. Ain't that cute? Nostalgia with a side of glow-up energy?
It's fantastic. I mean, we're going to be, memorialized forever in cinema because of our relationship on Cousin Skeeter, and having the comeback on Harlem is great, and then we're going to do some other projects together too. We have some things coming up.
But let's not play like their reunion was all hugs and handshakes. Nah, it came with heat. People are still talking about that steamy strip scene they did together. Zrania. The chemistry was so strong, it had folks clutching their pearls and running up the replay button.
What if Skeeter gets Big Rock on that?
Don't worry, Skeeter's always right on top of things.
Yes, a strip scene. Who saw that coming? From those sweet, innocent teens on Cousin Skeeter to grown folks giving us all the heat, it was a whole moment. Fans were shook. Like, do we clutch our pearls or just hit replay and enjoy the glow up? Decisions.
I'm not gonna lie, the first scene that we had together was him stripping, and when he tore the pants off, I saw that, there was something in front. What I didn't realize is there was nothing in the back. And that was a little stressful for me because, then he came around and I was right here and he's dancing on Grace and his back's to me, and then he went down to the ground and the camera started. I said, no, I said, y'all put the camera away, hold on. I was like, Robert, no, we can't. Because he's still, in a lot of ways, he's still a little brother to me. But also in a lot of ways we feel the same age, but we literally grew up. That's how I spent my high school years, was me and Robert on set, filming and ultimately becoming siblings. But that was our formative years right there. And so he's very dear to my heart, and I love him to pieces.
Speaking of Megan Good, when Sis started dating Jonathan Majors, Robert Ri'chard had to slide in with his 2 cents, and honestly, it was all love. He came through like the supportive homie, calling Megan a godly queen with her head on straight. He even hyped her up as someone who knows how to pick 'em, saying she's got a great eye for character. Now that's how you root for your people.
I think that she's one of the most iconic people on the planet. I mean, we love Megan Good,
Yeah.
right? I think the entire world does. And we sort of, use her as the standard for what beauty is both inside and out. And she's a godly woman, so we don't have nothing to worry about. This is America, right? You should be innocent until proven guilty, right? I'm saying that's the case, right?
Yeah.
In America, right? We should all be innocent until proven guilty.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's important to let, the facts come out as they may,
Yeah.
I'm sure, she's not the first person to stood behind a man who might be, wrongfully judged for something that he may or may not have done. I don't know the guy personally, though. I mean, she's been excellent her entire life. I mean, she's always sort of been associated with, I don't see Megan ever putting herself in anything that would jeopardize, how people see her just in entire what she broadcasts. She's a great woman.
Yeah.
She's like a sister to me. So.
You could practically feel the sincerity in Robert's words as he reflected on their years of friendship, making it clear he's always been in Megan's corner. But let's talk about the timing. Jonathan Majors was deep in the headlines, caught up in some major legal drama after his March 2023 arrest for an alleged altercation with his ex, Grace Jabari. The streets were buzzing, and Megan's new romance was smack in the middle of it all. Given all that mess, Robert's words hit different, poignant, and powerful. While the tabloids were messy with accusations and scandal, Robert stayed 10 toes down for Megan, reminding the world she's not just a pretty face. She's sharp, she's savvy, and she knows exactly what she's doing. And let's be real, his shout-out didn't feel like the usual Hollywood fluff. Nah, it came from a place of loyalty and real respect. Robert's been in this game long enough to understand how messy relationships can get under the spotlight, so his praise for Megan felt real. He was basically saying, don't sleep on her. Sis knows how to handle her business. It was more than a casual compliment. It was a public cosign of her strength and character during tough times. That's not just industry love. That's authentic friendship built on years of loyalty and belief in someone's worth. But hold up, Robert's not just out here hyping people. He's making moves too. He's been on his grind, constantly plugging EPM, elite performance medicine, like it's the next big thing. And let's be honest, with the way he's selling it, it just might be.
So it stands for Elite Performance Medicine. We transform suffering for all. So we're healing products and we prevent injuries, stimulate performance, manage discomfort. I brought some products to take a look at right here. So this is Reborn. It's for muscle and joint pain. It's all earth. And this is amazing product. This is Fountain of Youth in a bottle. Put it on topically. And then this one is Allure. And this is a Beauty Rest in a bottle. And this is a Better Science, Better Medicine.
Oh, Robert's all about that health and fitness life. He's out here pushing EPM like it's the secret sauce to staying on top of your game. He's living proof that staying fit isn't just for the gram. It's about longevity, feeling good, and looking even better. Robert's hustling in more ways than one, and his focus on health is just another example of him staying ahead of the curve. Oh, absolutely. Robert's been preaching the gospel of wellness while flexing his own transformation. Remember when he had to shed those pounds and get ripped for his role on The Vampire Diaries? He wasn't just acting, he was living that fitness grind. That transformation was next level, and it wasn't just about the role. It was about showing the world what dedication looks like. Robert's out here making health and fitness a lifestyle, and he's walking the talk every step of the way.
What I was told, he's not supposed to be here, and he's compelled.
A lot more romance, This season's great. Season 4 is definitely that balance between our main character, Nina, and how she's balancing both sort of being in love with two brothers. And then I'm bringing up the rear. I'm in love with Bonnie, and I'm willing to go fight for her. So.
Oh, he took that really seriously. Robert wasn't playing around. He put in the sweat and grind to match those supernatural vibes on The Vampire Diaries. He knew he had to look the part, ripped and ready for those intense scenes. It wasn't just about flexing for the camera, it was about fully immersing himself in that role. Robert really turned up the heat, showing that when it comes to his craft, he's all about putting in the work to bring the magic to life.
This is like the development of jumping into a character like a vampire.
It's a lot of running. I lost some weight to get in shape for this role, and just definitely having my body to be able to keep up with my mind as far as in the show goes. So I just want to look the best that I can because all the vampires are sexy, and then definitely know that I'm hitting on my marks when it comes to my character.
But let's be real, Robert ain't just about the roles. Nah, he's laser focused on keeping that ageless glow that has fans swooning.
You're hearing that too, huh? I'm hearing that too. I just try and make sure I stay young and beautiful, Make sure
The way he's out here looking like he hasn't aged a day, baby, it's the hustle for eternal youth, and he's got the formula down. He's making sure that whether he's on screen or off, he's giving us all the timeless vibes. Looks like Robert's secret to staying fine forever is just as sharp as his career moves. The man is straight up a fountain of youth. The internet is low-key in a frenzy, throwing out comparisons to actor Neil McDonough. Folks are out here calling them long-lost twins, like people really think they could play brothers in a movie. It's that serious. But while the internet's busy playing matchmaker, Robert's over here sticking to his grind, proving he's got more than just a pretty face. He's got the looks, the talent, and the hustle to stand out without leaning on that twin comparison. Whether he's flexing those muscles or pushing his business ventures, Robert's all about securing that bag and making sure he's not just a blast from the past. He's carving out a future where he stays relevant, fabulous, and ready to pop off. And let's be real, with all that charm and ambition, he's clearly got a plan and is executing it like a pro. Oh, and for all the one-on-one fans out there, word on the street is there's chatter about a reboot of the show. Could we be getting some more of that classic Robert magic? Only time will tell.
You're hearing that too, huh? I'm hearing that too. I just try and make sure I stay young and beautiful, you know what I mean? Make sure I reprise, Arnett.
Can you imagine the one-on-one crew, Flex, Kyla Pratt, and the whole gang coming back together? Talk about a nostalgia overload. Robert's been staying busy though, with his acting career still popping, and his business ventures keeping him right in the spotlight. And just when you think he's done stirring the pot, here he comes with another surprise. With a net worth of around $400K, Robert Ri'chard's journey from gang life to the glitzy world of Hollywood is one hell of a story. He might not have reached A-list status, but baby, he's carved out his own lane in the industry, staying relevant with his fitness grind, business moves, and of course, that timeless face that never ages. What will he be most remembered for? Probably for being the dude who keeps us all guessing and never letting us forget where he came from, even if that means pulling out a gang rag on live TV. Now that's a level of realness you can't fake.
You feel like people should wait for all of the evidence and everything to come out before they judge Jonathan? What do you say to people that think that she's soiling her reputation by being with him while all this is going on?
Leading men who are upstanding. I mean, her last name that she's associated with is like the leader of all of us as far as religiously, so she's been a great judge of character.
Would she ever put herself in a situation with someone that wasn't a good person?
He's laid it all out there, keeping it 100 about how education was his golden ticket out of that mess. Robert knows the streets weren't going to be his escape, but knowledge, that was his way out, and he's been using it ever since to level up. It's a true story of growth, showing that sometimes the real hustle isn't just about what you're doing in front of the camera, it's about what you're doing behind the scenes, making moves that last.
Everyone always asks me what my sort of hidden secret is, and if you go on the internet, it's called EPM, and their website is EPM Product X. And I use this stuff called Allure. I put it on my face. It's amazing. It's like elite performance medicine. It's the best. It's like beauty rest in the bottle. So that's what keeps me young.
In his world, the LAPD, oh, they were the enemy. Robert's story isn't one of easy streets or perfect beginnings. He came from a world where trust was scarce, and the cops weren't seen as protectors, but as a threat. That's the reality he had to navigate before he flipped the script and turned his life around. It's that kind of raw, real experience that shaped him into the man he is today. Once you're in, it's like quicksand. You just can't escape. It's a cycle that pulls you deeper the more you struggle, trapping you in a world where every step feels like a setback. And no matter how hard you try to break free, the grip gets tighter. That's the reality for so many. And for Robert, it took more than just luck to pull himself out. It took grit, resilience, and the will to change. And let's be real, their work on Cousin Skeeter will forever keep them linked in TV history. That show was a whole vibe, and it introduced a whole generation to their chemistry. No matter where their careers go, that iconic moment will always tie them together in the hearts of fans. It's one of those classic TV connections that can't be erased, no matter how much time passes.